Take a second now to form a picture in your mind. Think of the textbook man of action. You've just imagined a guy very much like Bill Kerr. As a young geologist, Kerr drove a dog sled across the frozen Arctic. He spent his summers repairing the boathouse at his family's cabin in British Columbia. A year and a half ago, Bill Kerr suffered a stroke. The man of action is diminished physically. And he would really rather not go on this way. Bill is intent on taking control of what remains of his life. He is turning to his daughter, Sarah, to help him. Judy Aldous brings us the story from Calgary.
So my dad's on a number of different medications. He's on some for pain control, for anxiety, for depression, a few things that are sort of soothing physical issues that come with the stroke and the paralysis. And he's on 3 medications that are really designed to prolong his life.
And we're trying to debate whether we should discontinue those 2.
What do you think about not taking those drugs anymore?
I think it's better not to. And I don't see much value in keeping me alive. The fact is, if I could end my life, I would do it. If I could do it in a way that wasn't going to inconvenience anybody or shock them, I would do it.
I did not see.
Grandpa.
I did not see. My eyes are dim, I cannot see. I did not bring my specs with me.
He was vigorous and energetic.
His daughter, Sarah, loves to remember him as he was in this old home video.
A baseball hat.
No, you are not a baseball hat.
What you get?
He once told me that
spoon.
when they were born, he made a rule with himself that he would never ever say no to them. And I mean, it's a questionable parenting style, but I think it's probably not so bad as the grandparenting style.
Oh!
Am I edible?
Yes, some things would eat you, but I don't think people would want to eat you.
Finish what's in your mouth or you'll choke. Finish chewing a hole. Are you throwing out your crusts, Bill?
Yes.
Well, that's your prerogative. You're old enough, you're allowed to not eat your crusts if you don't want to. You don't have to put them on the floor for the cat, though. You can just put them on the side of your plate. He had a stroke on the right side of his brain and left the left side of his body completely paralyzed. So he's in a wheelchair. He can't move his left arm or left leg at all. He has no control over his bowels and his bladder. He has trouble swallowing, so he's in diapers and he's eating very soft food. And he's in a wheelchair. Do you want to have one more nibble of a sandwich? Here, you have one more nibble and then we'll go.
I don't like to eat meals. It's too much work. But they make me do it. They won't let me go to bed if I haven't eaten. So I eat so I can go to bed. So Sarah, you can pull me out.
Okay, let's go for a walk. Do you want to have one more nibble of a sandwich? Here, you have one more nibble and then we'll go. This image of him being stuck is really strong, or I don't know if stuck, but that he's in a kind of liminal phase. His life is certainly not as it was. His body's deteriorating, but he's still alive, but he'd actually rather not be. I kind of see what I'm doing as a process of helping him clear up and sort of make peace with all the things in this life that might be holding him. And so I've done a few things for that. One was setting up this ancestor altar beside his bed, which has a tablecloth on it as the Kerr tartan, which is our family tartan. And there are probably 15 or 20 photographs on it of his ancestors, my ancestors on his side. And the idea was that he's about to face a part of his journey that I don't know anything about. I'm alive. If there are people who know about it, it's the people who've already died. And that maybe there's some way he can make a connection with them, with his memory of them, with their spirit, and that can give him some sense that there is somewhere he's going. The light switch is just not going to go out. Pull this over so you can see. Been talking to your ancestors lately?
Yes, I talk to them regularly. Especially Grandpa May.
Yeah?
Because I recognize him. Some of the other ones I wouldn't recognize.
What do you say when you talk to him?
Hi, Gramps, how are you? Do you remember me? I'm the little guy that spent the summer of grade 4 at your house. And you never scolded me. No matter what I did. I never scolded my grandchildren. They had nothing to do that required scolding, but I wouldn't have anyway.
Grandpa May was a special one, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
And you look like him.
I like him in many ways.
How old were you when he died?
I was 25. I just hopped on a plane and went home.
Had he been sick? Did you know he was ill?
No, he'd been in perfect health. He had a sudden heart attack. He was 75.
Same as you. What did you feel when he died?
I was devastated. But I soon got over it. I realized that he had lived a full life. And he wouldn't mind dying.
How do you feel about dying?
Wouldn't mind dying for the same reason I lived a full life. 75 years is all anybody deserves or needs.
You had a particularly full 75 years, too.
Yes. It was fun.
You're right. You got it.
Okay, my turn. Let's play it again.
All right, okay.
How does the game work?
Well, you guess and you give the person clues. It's, we don't read the instructions.
It's a family trait, Bill.
Well, Amy knows how to play them, see.
So he's on 3 drugs which are specifically designed to prolong his life. And he's not on very high doses of them, but they're having an effect. They're preventing him from having another stroke. They're keeping his blood pressure low and keeping his cholesterol low. And prolonging his life is not really, as he would say, it's not the point. It's not, I don't believe it's actually serving him or a healing act. I think that the healing work now is to, if anything, help him have a good death. And he's so clear that he's had a good life. And so we're stopping the medication. We've had lots of family discussions about this and lots of discussions with him, and everyone is very clear that we'll do everything to keep him as comfortable as we can and to make his life as high quality as possible, but prolonging it is not actually of service to him. Can you pull your arm out there? Ooh, ah. There we go.
The roles are now reversed. Bill is being washed by his daughter, but Sarah is doing something that no parent dreams of. She's trying to help her father die.
Like if we stopped taking the stroke medicine and I kicked the bucket, I would hope you'd say, well, he was ready for it.
I would. And I'd be sad, but I'd be glad that you had such a good life. And I'd be glad that you're now free of this frustration. And I'd be glad that you got what you wanted. And I'd be sad that you were gone. I'd be all those things.
Of course. We've always had a big rapport, you and me.
We have.
And this again.
Yeah.
Bill and Sarah Kerr's story was brought to us by CBC producer Judy Aldous.